Hello, everybody. Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Natalie Rydstrom. I am joined by Flash and Nigel Seeley. It is the second to last Premier League rundown of the season. Are you guys sad? You sad that it's all coming to an end?
Absolutely devastated.
I'm not.
Devastated. No, Flash?
I'm devastated. Why are you not, Flash?
Because, I mean, there's not a lot going to happen in the closing few games, and it's a really difficult time of the year. So I'm looking forward now to next season already, and who's going to buy who and who's getting rid of who.
All right.
Nat, the only reason he's saying that is because he's a Southampton fan. And they've got absolutely nothing to play for. That's why he's saying that.
And what about you as an Arsenal fan? How are you feeling?
Devastated. Arsene Wenger's still there. They've a cup final to look forward to. Don't believe the hype. They're not going to be in the top four finish. It's going to be a sixth place or fifth place, and the pressure's going to be on. Could be all change at the Emirates next season. But no, I'm not. Even if they win the FA Cup final, I think it's been a very poor season for Arsene Wenger and Arsenal.
Yeah, Wenger in or Wenger out?
You know what my views on this have been for the last six months. Wenger out all day long. The trouble is there's nobody capable of taking the job, and who wants to take on that? Alexis Sanchez has just come out today and said he wants to go to 3 clubs, either Chelsea, Man United or Bayern Munich in the season. What kind of club would let their best players say them kind of things, and who wants to inherit the mess that's going to come into Arsenal? So Wenger out for me.
Wenger out. All right. Do you have an opinion on that, Flash?
Yeah, I gave my opinion a few weeks ago. It's the recruitment man that needs hanging, not Wenger.
Yeah.
I mean, they say that Wenger doesn't. Yeah, because there's too much dead wood there. They've got to get rid of about 10 players for me. I'll give him a chance. He's going to stay. Get over it. Let's see what players come in.
All right, interesting stuff. So obviously big transfer season coming up. Let's kick off powered by Pinnacle. Everton versus Watford. Everton 1.45, draw 4.75, Watford 8. Both in poor form. Both come from back-to-back losses. Not very good. What are you going for, Flash?
I'm going to go with the old faithful. Everton at home against a side that are down tools, don't score enough goals. Everton -1. Absolute knocker for me, or in your world, Everton -1.5.
Oh, he understands it now.
Catching on, isn't he? Catching on, yeah.
Bilingual,
okay.
bilingual.
All right, exactly. So you're going for the -1.5. What are the odds for that? So they've got to win by 2 goals or more, bearing in mind that Everton haven't scored in the last 3 matches. You still feel okay with that bet?
I do. They're in a different class to Watford. I just see that Lukaku's obviously going for the golden boot. They've got young players that are fit. I just see them being far too strong. And 2-0 will be the minimum result I'd expect.
All right. Well, I hope it's 2-0 because I'm going for the under 2.5 goals, 2.2. Doubtful whether Watford can score. Just 1 goal scored in 5 matches. But Everton have been struggling as well. They are at home, though. I think an odds 1.45 is pretty low. But I'm going to go for the under 2.5 goals. What are you going for, Nigel?
I think Everton win all the way. I think Watford aside, they always, at this time of the season, always look to change their manager. I don't think the manager here is going to escape his job. I think he's still under pressure. Everton at home, as Flash said, the faithful always win at home, always score goals. Away from home, they're not so great. You know, everyone looks at their recent reform, but they went to Chelsea, and Chelsea done a good job on them last time out. But I think Everton will win this. I agree with Flash. Everton -1.5 goals for me. I think it'd be minimum 2 or 3-0. I was tempted to go for Everton to win to 0. I think Everton win this game. I think they win it well in that.
All right. What did you say the odds were for that one again?
Well, -1.5 goals.
Yeah.
Flashman, what we got? 2.1?
Yeah, 2.1.
In Flash's bookie. Okay. West Brom versus Chelsea. Chelsea 1.4, draw 5.25, West Brom 10, odds Pinnacle. Chelsea, obviously very comfortable now. Tottenham lost the match last weekend. Pretty sad. Chelsea 1.4, not a bad price on the road, I have to say. But they are playing a team struggling, haven't won in 6 now. What are you going for, Nige?
Well, I'll tell you what about this game. I think West Brom have lost their last 3 games at home 1-0, all of them 1-0. So you go make a case for the under 2.5 goals. I think Chelsea will win this game, but 1.4 is a crazy price about any team away from home in the Premier League. West Brom are 8th in the Premier League. Tony Pulis manages his side. I think that Chelsea will win the game, but would I back them at 1.4? Nowhere at all. I think Chelsea to win to 0 is the bet here. West Brom have failed to score in 4 of their last 6 matches. They've never had a goal scorer all season. They're 8th in the Premier League table, but the thing is, there's only a certain amount of points separating between 8th and 16th. But I think tonight, in this game here, Chelsea to win to 0, which is, I think it's 2.8, it's 8-5, which in decimal terms is
2.1.
Well, I think it's bigger than that. I think it's 2.4.
Is it? I got 2.1 a little while ago. It was one of my bets that I was looking at.
Well, I think that's the bet tonight. I think I saw yesterday.
This is Nigel's bookie prices.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to look it up so all's fair and square.
I need to make some ground on you now at the top of the table. So, but if it's 2.1, it's 2.1. But I think Chelsea to win to 0 here. This is a West Brom side who have failed to score in their last 3 home games. They've lost them all 1-0. I can see Chelsea do a professional performance, winning 1-0 and being crowned champions of the Premier League on Friday night.
All right. Just do me a favour, Nigel. Make sure your voice is directed into that microphone. It's a little quiet. What are you going for, Flash? Because Flash, obviously, harder hearing. He needs to hear your bets. So Flash needs you to speak louder. What are you going for, Flash?
Is that because of my age? I think there's quite a few angles here. I mean, I certainly wouldn't put anybody up. I think basically the prices of West Brom and the draw are far too inflated. Earlier on in the season, you wouldn't get these. I think the angle is definitely under 2.5 goals. But I wouldn't go against anybody going with West Brom draw no bet, because I think West Brom are something like 17-2, which is something like 8.9, 8.5,
10.
Which is just crazy.
10, yeah, price 10 with Pinnacle.
It's just, I mean, this is silly season now, and there'll be some. And I'm going to come up with a couple later that I fancy, and I think the play is under 2.5, but I wouldn't go against anybody having the value of West Brom and draw no bet.
Yeah, and it is silly season. You're right. We're seeing a lot of results. I'm actually, though, I agree with you on the unders. I do think Chelsea, though, will win this. Chelsea and the under 3.5 goals, price 2. That's my official play. And just looked at the, stop laughing at that bet. It's a good bet. It goes as high as 4.5. I didn't go as high as that one. I did 3.5. It's a very wise bet. And Chelsea to win to 0 is 2.1 bet 365, 2.15 bet Victor. So 2.1 pretty much across the bookies right now for the win to 0.
Great bet to win to 0.
You would say that because it was your bet. So you think
it's a good bet. It's a great bet. West Brom won't score.
The best bet of the whole match. Okay. Man City versus Leicester. Man City 1.29, draw 6.5, Leicester 11. We did see crazy season recently, didn't we? Middlesbrough, Man City. But it is a must win for Man City. They are at home. They're in 4th place, and they have to win this match. But the question is what is the bet for the match? Flash.
No bet for me, because
no bet.
I didn't want to go with. I couldn't see no value in Man City. I thought maybe over 2.5, maybe both teams to score. All of a sudden, I was so scrambled, I couldn't actually find one that I wanted to press the button on.
Too much for your brain to take. So you're like, oh God, next one.
Leave it. Exactly. Yeah. Especially at this time of year.
I had a few of those. I do have a bet for this match, though. Nigel, what have you got?
I reckon you got the same bet as me, Matt. I think this screams out goals. I think there's goals in this game. Middlesbrough, Man City against Leicester in the reverse fixture was an unbelievable performance by Leicester, one of their best performances of the season. And I think that they're going to go all out for an attack. They need something to prove. Players want a way out of Leicester. Man City players, Guardiola is looking for players for next season. This game, for me, both teams to score is an absolute banker.
Yeah, I was sort of looking. I'm actually going to do. I was sort of a little bit like Flash there. Man City win over 2.5 goals. Not much value in the over 2.5 goals. 1.36. There is some value on the over 3.5 goals. 1.91. But you stick them together, Man City and the over 2.5 goals, and it gives you glorious odds of 1.6.
That's a good bet.
Not the highest odds in the whole wide world, but I like it.
That's a great bet. Leicester have been absolutely atrocious away from home this season. Man City need to win. There's goals in the game. I like that bet a lot.
Why, thank you, Nigel.
I wish I thought of that.
I like that.
I'm going to change my bet now to both teams to score and over 2.5 goals and Man City to win.
So you're going to go for Man City and the over 2.5 goals as well?
I like it. I like it. I think there's goals in the game. I think over 2.5 goals because I think Man City can score 3 goals on their own.
Yeah.
Leicester can't win the game, and I think it's a good bet.
Thanks, Nigel. All right. Are you officially down as that is your bet? Man City in the over 2.5 goals. Bournemouth versus Burnley. Bournemouth 1.95, draw 3.8. Burnley 4. Obviously, we did see Burnley manage their first win of the season. Question is, does lightning strike twice? Generally, it does not. Bournemouth win for me, 1.95. I do not think Burnley will win their second match of the season. What are you going for, Nigel?
I'm going for all the way Bournemouth 1.95. I think it's a good price. I think Burnley, not many played Crystal Palace and won their first game away from home this season. It cost me an absolute fortune. I thought they were absolute bankers. Myself and Flash agreed on that occasion, which is always a bad sign when me and Flash agree. But I think Bournemouth they've got goals in them. It's a long trip as well. There won't be many fans travelling all the way down from Burnley to Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth are a much better footballing side. They've got much more about them. I think they'll win it 1.95. And they want to get higher and higher in the Premier League to gain the CV rating of Eddie Howe, who potentially could be an ex-Arsenal manager, even more and more. So I think the incentive is Bournemouth. I like Bournemouth at 1.95 here.
All right. Now, Flash, you're going to make it a full house?
No, I'm not. I'm going to go with, I think this will end in a dull draw, to be honest. I think that both teams will cancel each other out. I've got to sit on the fence, really, and go draw because I can't pick a convincing case for either. And sometimes when you do that, then the draw's staring you in the face. And I'll just point out, obviously I wasn't on last week, but we had 2 of the 2-2s that I said will be popping up at some stage last weekend. And I can see this being a draw as well.
Yeah. My convincing case would be Burnley obviously drew their last home match. It's like their second home match in a row. I think they'll be really wanting to win this one. I think it's the last home match of the season, but they'll be wanting to win this match. And then obviously Burnley on the road, they struggle. That would be my point for not the draw. But I had a little whiff of the draw too, but I'm going to go for the straight Bournemouth win.
I mean, I just think that they've been quite solid. They've not really been beat up in any games.
Who, Burnley or Bournemouth?
Burnley.
Yeah, the thing is though, you're talking about funny season prices here, though, Flash. I mean, they're 1.95 to win this game. Yeah, if this was 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, they would be 1.83.
Yeah, they'd be 1.5.
Yeah. So I think the value is with them, and we're going to. I think you're going to come the same angle as me on some of the bets that I think are just crazy prices. But I think 1.95 Bournemouth is too big. If I priced this game up 3 weeks ago, despite Burnley winning at Crystal Palace, I would have been 1.7, 1.65, something like that. And I think 1.95 is too big a price.
There you go. Middlesbrough versus Southampton. Southampton 2, draw 3.6. Middlesbrough 4. Obviously, it's Southampton maybe poured more to play for at this point. Middlesbrough out, but last home match they drew to Man City. Middlesbrough, but both are in poor form. This is a no bet for me. This one scrambled my brain, so no bet for me. Nige, what do you think?
No, well, you say the Middlesbrough have nothing to play for. I think they've got much more to play for than Southampton. They've got a manager who wants the job. They've got players who want to stay there next season. They've got players that I think they've got much more to play for, despite being relegated than Southampton have. I cannot believe that they're 4 to win this game. Southampton, to me, are a side that are going through the motions in recent weeks. They've been grinding out results. I know they play really well at Liverpool because there's a little bit of animosity between Liverpool and Southampton because Liverpool take all their best players every season. They want to win that game, want to get some that game. But
they don't take them. They actually do pay over the odds.
Well, they pay them, yeah. But the thing, I'm telling you, but Flash though, like that was the reason why them players were up for that game. They didn't play very well against Arsenal last week. They've been gone through the motion for years. There's rumours of a dispute between the manager and certain players at St Mary's, and I think 4 Middlesbrough is absolutely massive. I'm going to go Middlesbrough plus a half a goal, much better, or plus 0.75 goal, which is even money. I think that's a great bet. But I think Middlesbrough are so far wrong price in this game. It's unbelievable.
So one more time there. Middle, you're going plus 0.75.
I'm going to go 0.75, which means even if they lose by a goal, we get half the money back, and I'm going to take even money on that bet. I think it's a great bet. I really don't. I just cannot see how Southampton are even money to win this game away from home. No chance.
Okay, yeah. To your point there, what are you going for, Flash?
I'm going for Middlesbrough, draw no bet. And the reasons are that Middlesbrough have got quite good pace in their side. If we start with Southampton, the rumours are that the manager's going to definitely leave. They've not scored in 4 of their last 5 games. They really are in holiday mode. I think they had 2 shots on goal yesterday. So I think the value is all about Middlesbrough into a really good send-off. And the thing is with Middlesbrough that people do forget, and I know they got done the other night, but they don't let in many goals at home. They're really solid. So for me, Middlesbrough are the bet with draw no bet.
All right, Middlesbrough draw no bet. And by the way, Middlesbrough plus 0.75 is currently priced 1.65. It's not evens, Nigel.
Okay, I'm just looking at your odds comparison sites, Nat. So I'll take the 1.65, no problem.
You're going to take 0.5. So that's 1.91.
I'll take the 0.5 and 1.91 rather than 0.75. I'm very similar to Flash here on the draw no bet. I just think the prices are absolutely bang wrong. I think Middlesbrough are really looking at teams that are relegated this season. Everyone's going, oh, they've got nothing to play for. That happens in Italy. That happens in Spain. That happens in other countries. But in England, teams look for the manager, look for someone to take them on. And I think the teams that are relegated this season are very, very priced massively well. So I'll get it from any angle we can. 0.75 plus a half at 191. I'm all over it.
All right, all over it. Nice one. Sunderland versus Swansea. Swansea 1.91, draw 3.8. Sunderland 4.2. Again, I'm afraid it's just hit or miss. Both teams. Sunderland are out, but that obviously didn't stop them beating Hull at Kingston Communications, and it's just a no bet. Although when we were doing the best bets, 2 of the guys were going for the straight Swansea win.
No way. They're off their heads. That's the worst price in the world, Swansea, to win this game.
Well, yeah, so it's a no bet for me. So what are you going to go for?
They've won 3 games away from home all season. They're at the bottom of the league for a reason. They're a bad side. Sunderland have got players. Jermaine Defoe wants to go out on a high. He's top goal scorer. He's going to leave the club. You've got the goalkeeper wants to leave. David Moyes wants the job. I think the prices here are absolutely mad. Anyone who's back in Swansea at 1.91 needs to have a long, good look in the mirror and think to himself, am I really going to make money in this game? It's a crazy, crazy price. Sunderland, them fans go every week paying. They want to go out on the high in the last game of the season at home. And I think Sunderland here, plus a half a goal. Again, similar answer to Middlesbrough. I think it's a great bet. I can't believe that anyone's honestly saying that Swansea will win this at 191. No, not for me at all. Wrong price. Wrong price.
Well, guys, Big Man and Martin on our best bet show both really liked the Swansea.
Now, if this was 5 weeks ago,
I know they disagree. We've got Big Man watching as well here.
6 weeks ago, if this game was in the Premier League, okay, if this was 6 weeks ago in the Premier League, Swansea would be 2.6 to win this game, 2.7 to win this game. If it was the first day of the season, Swansea would be 3.5. When they played at Swansea, Swansea were 2.2 to win the game. Now you want to back at 1.91 just because they need to win. It's no value. I might be wrong, but it's no value. You'll do your money betting them.
All right, Big Man disagrees. He wants to challenge you on that one. He thinks that he says Sunderland are a hideous group, one of the worst teams in Europe. That was his. That's his response.
Swansea aren't far off being one of the second worst teams in Europe.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that. But I tell you what, though, it's a must-win for Swansea because Hull are only just 1 point behind them.
Yeah,
Swansea have got like a lot more to lose in this match.
Yeah, but you're getting carried over this must thing. There's so much. This must-win thing is a thing that. Because you have to win. Flash will tell you he's a professional footballer. He's played top level. When you must win, the pressure's on you more. Doesn't necessarily mean you will win.
What have you got to say about that, Flash?
Hooray! I've got a chance to talk.
You can just talk.
No, I didn't want to interrupt.
Muted.
I didn't want to interrupt. He was on a roll, and I've got to go. I've got to give him a bit of kudos. But the big thing about Swansea here is it isn't that they've got to win. They must not lose. They must get something from this game. There's two angles for it for me. I don't think either side are good enough to win the game, but under 2.5 goals is an absolute knocker because Swansea cannot afford to come away with nothing. So they will basically defend on the edge of their own box and they will try and hit them a little bit like they did at Old Trafford when they stifled Man United and they got a late equaliser with a Sigurdsson free kick. I see the same thing happening again, and I was going to go no goal scorer and 0-0, draw and draw overall. So if you want to pick the bones out of that, you can, but under 2.5 goal is definitely the way to go.
And what are the odds for that one?
Well, under 2.5 goals, I'll be about 1.65.
In Flash's bookie, wait, I've got it.
No,
here.
I don't trust
your
better.
odds. It's the under 2.5 goals is two. Odds of 2 with Bet365. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
That's why I like Sunderland here plus a half, because I think the 0-0's a runner and I think the draw's a runner. But I think if you're backing, I really do think if you're backing Swansea to win this game at 1.91, they might win the game. They might win the game because they need to win the game. But honestly, you're taking the worst value in the world.
Yeah, and there's so much better value this weekend that we'll come on to.
We seem to like this game though. We seem to be stuck here for half an hour. Yeah, I did have the lean on the under 2.5 goals. It is a no bet, but I am with you there for the under 2.5 goals. Flash. Stoke versus Arsenal. Arsenal 1.7, draw 4.2, Stoke 5. I think not bad odds there for the Arsenal win, to be honest with you. 1.7. I think it's going to be a low scorer as well. Flash, who's not had too much talk time, take it away.
Well, the problem is with Arsenal. Arsenal's record against Stoke away is absolutely hideous. I think they've only won once of the last 5 times they've been there.
Last seven, Flash.
Is it only 1 in 7, is it?
Yeah, 1 in 7.
And also, yeah, I mean, I know they're desperado, but I don't think you can ever bet against Stoke at home. I just don't. They don't know. They're not like a West Brom or a Southampton when they've got nothing to play for. Mark Hughes was like a Diego Costa in his time. He would have eaten his granny to get to the ball. So I've got to go with, again, Stoke are all the value for me here. I still think Arsenal got a really, really soft underbelly. And Stoke is the way to go and draw no bet.
Couldn't agree more with him. I couldn't agree more with him. Now, I mean, Arsenal get bullied by a physical side. Stoke are the most physical side in the world. It's their last home game in the Premier League season. Tony Pulis will want all them fans to go away and get a result. I cannot believe
that was about 7 years ago. Tony Pulis.
Oh, sorry,
Mark Hughes is the manager.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, I just can't believe this Stoke fans would actually let them put in a performance. But I'm telling you now, 1.7 Arsenal away from home is ridiculously short. I'm going for Stoke plus a half a goal here. I like Stoke plus half a goal. I think Stoke here will get something from the game. Definitely.
Okay, I'm going to go for Arsenal. I think Arsenal will win. I'm going to go for Arsenal. I like the odds 1.7, but I'm actually going to, Flash is going to love this bet. I'm going for Arsenal and the under 4.5 goals. This one's Flash's favourite of mine. So the under 4.5 goals, 2.1.
I don't even know where you find those bets. Where do you find those bets?
I look at the under 4.5. It's like 1.01.
No, but you combine it with the Arsenal win. You have to combine it, so it's a combined bet. So Arsenal must win, and it must be under 4.5 goals.
The Arsenal wins your problem.
Stan James.
The Arsenal wins a dodgy bit for me.
Stan James. Is where you get that, but you
Who
can
does
do.
he play
if you
for?
wanted, you can do like draw in the under 4.5 goals.
Oh, okay.
You can do any of the 3 possibilities, and under 4.5 goals, or under 3, or over. So you can do like over 1.5, under 1.5.
Yeah, well, I've got a new one for us.
Learn something new every day.
Next year.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, I've got a new one for us next year that I've done a couple of times myself just to test it out. And I did it with Chelsea the other night. It was 2-0, 3-0 and 4-0. And it was 4.0.
Yeah, you did all three.
But the price is 4.0.
Mm-hmm.
So like when we say to win to nil, and they say, oh, it's 2.2. I found a couple of companies that actually give you 3 different results to nil.
Okay.
And the odds are like.
Tell me more.
Yeah,
about
so it's really.
That's a good bet.
Yeah, well, it basically quadruples your selection, really.
Yeah. Okay, good one, Flash. Were you going to say anything about my bet, Nigel?
No, I like it. I like your under 4.5 goals bit. I don't like your Arsenal bit.
Well,
you can get under 4.5 goals for the next 2 games.
I feel confident about that bet. Next, Crystal Palace versus Hull. Crystal Palace 2.1, draw 3.6, and Hull 3.75. I've got must win for both games, but both have just had 1 win in 5. Again, just 2 poor teams. Nigel, what have you got?
This is my no bet of the week. I just think it's a very, very difficult game to call. Crystal Palace seemingly safe a couple of weeks ago. Now, in looking over their shoulders, Hull. Look at those, they're doing really well. Then they got beat by Sunderland last week. 2 teams you cannot trust at any prices. For me, it's no bet for me.
Okay, no bets. I'm with you as well, Nigel. I am treading really, really carefully. It is crazy season. Let's see if Flash is crazy enough to bet this match.
I am. It's one of my naps of the weekend. This will be like an absolute cup final for Crystal Palace. I would not go against them. I am going to go with Crystal Palace -1. I think that they will be far too strong. They will go back. This is important as when they beat Arsenal 3-0 earlier on in the like about 6 weeks ago. I cannot go against them. They are up against the wall, but it will be like a carnival for them, and if they get their tails in front, they will run all over Hull. So Crystal Palace to win -1.
Okay,
I think it's like 2.85. It's an unbelievable price.
No,
I think it might be nearly 2.9.
The thing is with that
2.1.
2.9.
1.
2 point Flash, you make up the odds. If they win by 1 goal.
Oh no, -1 that.
It's 1 goal will win. 1-0 is perfect result for them.
You're doing Crystal Palace -1.5.
Yes.
I think that there'll be more value in that. Let me just double check.
Yeah,
but I mean, obviously people can go with that, but just do Crystal Palace to win. That's one of my naps of the weekend.
Oof. That's heavy going there. I'm just trying to double checking the odds. I don't trust your bookie.
Well, you're
wrong
to be big because I give a bit away.
It's 3.8 for Crystal Palace -1.5.
3.8.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was 2.8.
No, it's 3.8. I thought so because Crystal Palace to win on its own is 2.1. So what?
Oh yeah, but you had my stake on as well, though, don't you?
Now, exactly. Come on,
Flash.
Yeah.
Flash, come on, get a grip, mate. Come on.
In it to win it.
No, Nat. Yeah, but Nat, I look at the profits 2.8.
Well, you've got to say the odds. You're trying to come back now.
Oh, 3.8.
Yeah.
3.8. I'm backtracking, aren't I? Yeah. Next game.
All right. And that's a no bet for you as well, Nige, right?
No bet for me at all. I couldn't back any side. Wouldn't trust them at all.
All right. Yeah, they've got we've got Ganesh Pun. He's going Crystal Palace all the way. So you've got a supporter there as well on the Crystal Palace win. West Ham versus Liverpool. Liverpool 1.73, draw 4. West Ham 5.25. I think Liverpool can do this. They're fighting to keep third spot. I know that sometimes they're not the most interesting team in the whole wide world, but I like the Liverpool win. I know you probably going to disagree with me, I feel, and tell me no, but I'm going to go for the Liverpool win, 1.73 away at West Ham. Flash, were you going
No.
No.
Liverpool, no.
Yeah, exactly. I knew you were going to say this. I knew I was going to go on.
West Ham,
why not?
5.25 at home. Put me down for some of that. They
So
are
if you like
physically.
money away, Flash, then you go for that West Ham win.
Yeah, listen, I'm more than happy to throw a few shekels at West Ham at home against Liverpool. I think they match up brilliantly. Don't forget, West Ham just put a nail in Tottenham's Premier League title hopes.
Lightning doesn't
And
strike twice.
Liverpool, West Ham are the value all the way here. I mean, just have a look. Apart from an unbelievable piece of technique from Emre Can, they wouldn't have even got a win at Watford.
Yeah.
And now you go to the London Stadium, 55,000 people. I'm just blowing bubbles this weekend. 5.25. Put me down for it.
Okay, I will. Putting you down. I'm still for the Liverpool win. What are you going for, Nigel?
Sorry. Now I agree with Flash entirely in this game. I think the momentum after the win against Tottenham and the way the fans are like behind them now at the moment, that stadium's getting better and better and better as a place to go. The players are used to it. It's the last day of the season for them. They're going to be up for this game. Fans will be up for it. Liverpool coming to town. Liverpool are odds on all the way through. Jog on. And when you see Liverpool odds on, my advice is jog on. They cannot beat teams. They cannot be trusted. They let you down all the time. And if you keep falling this trap at 1.7, 1.5 away from home in the Premier League, you're going to go skinned. And I'm telling you what, I think West Ham are fantastic value at 5.25. But again, I'm going to go for them plus a half a goal, which will probably be about 2.3, something like that. I think West Ham plus a half a goal is the bet here, without a shadow of a doubt. I think there's no.
I tell you as well, enough value as well, I suppose, if you want to play the double chance draw and the West Ham, and also the draw.
It's exactly the same as the half a goal. It's pretty much exactly the same. You get the draw and you get the win. But the thing is, West Ham haven't been. They've just had a very bad start of the season. They're a good footballing side. They've got a good manager, good players. They're better than their position deserves. They had a brilliant win against Tottenham. It was the best atmosphere at their new stadium all season. And the best thing that happens to them now is bringing Liverpool this week. Worst thing that happened than bringing like Sunderland this week, because I would have opposed them. But bringing Liverpool, they're up the game, and the fans want to go out the season on a high, which has been a tough season for them. I think West Ham are just far too big. Totally agree with Flash.
Okay, there we go. Look at you two agree sometimes. Very nice. West Ham plus half a goal is 2.2, bet 365.
Yeah.
That brings us to the big game of the weekend here, Tottenham versus Manchester United. Tottenham, last game, White Hart Lane, 1.73 to win, draw 3.9. Manchester United, 5.25. All those odds with Pinnacle, powered by Pinnacle. Who feels confident about this bet?
Me. I'm very confident. I think Tottenham win the game.
Yeah, I think probably go the same way.
Yeah, you both go for Tottenham win.
Yeah, I think 1.73. I know it's not really a fashionable kind of price, not really a good price. Manchester United are 1-0 up now. They're going to be in the Europa League at the end of the season. Their whole season is about winning that Europa League rather than the Premier League. I can see Man United easing up like a horse, 10 lengths clear in the final furlong of the horse race, and just easing up for the rest of the Premier League season. They don't care about their Premier League. It's all about winning the Europa League. I think Tottenham still believe that it makes the one thing about this game. It makes a massive difference what happens at Tottenham to Chelsea. If Chelsea get beat, the title race is on. But I still think Tottenham will go out on the highest. The last ever game, well, I think 1.73. Tottenham will win this game, and I think Man United is all about European football for next season rather than the Premier League.
Okay, all right. So Tottenham win, and we've got actually people commenting. They're doing Tottenham -1 as well. I think it's going to be a close game, to be honest with you. What do you go for, Flash?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a close game. I've definitely come out on top of with Spurs, but I was looking at Spurs maybe to win 1-0, maybe 2-0, maybe 2-1. It's definitely Man United won't get rolled over because none of Mourinho's teams do. So I definitely see that Tottenham will win the game. I look across the midfield four, and I look and think they're far too strong and far too mobile. And the defence of Tottenham, I can't seem to be given any problems by the Man United third man runners. So for me, Tottenham at I'm going to go Tottenham and -2.5 double.
What, you're doing Tottenham minus 2.5?
No,
he
Tottenham
wants to
and
take
under
under
2.5 goals.
Oh, under 2.5 goals.
And Tottenham to win.
Yeah, okay, cool. Are you doing that as a combined bet, or you're just taking two separate bets?
I am, yeah.
You are? Okay, what are the odds for that?
Will you tell me?
Flash's bookie give you anything you want, Nat.
Well, I know. Flash, the aim of the game is you're supposed to come with the odds to the show. That's what you're supposed to do.
I make them up as I go along.
Okay, Tottenham and the under 2.5 goals. Yeah, pretty good. You've got 3.8 Stan James, 3.9 Coral. Which one do you want to take?
Oh, I'll take the... Thank you.
3.9, obviously, Flash. Come on.
Exactly.
All right, I'm actually just taking this straight under 2.5 goals at 1.9. I think it's going to be an unders game. I think you've got two strong defences, and that's what I'm expecting, or a 1 or a 2-0 Tottenham win, unfortunately. But there we have it. Under 2.5 goals, 1.9. That brings us to our best bets, our banker or our NAP, and our parlay/accumulator bet. Flash, what have you got?
Crystal Palace, obviously, are my nap of the weekend, -1. And I'm going to go for an absolute bonanza bet of West Ham at 5.25,
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, and Middlesbrough in a treble. Okay,
going strong. What have you got, Nigel?
My nap's going to be Stoke plus half a goal against Arsenal. I think Arsenal 1.71, 1.72 is a crazy price. I think Stoke always beat Arsenal. They're physically a lot stronger than Arsenal. Arsenal don't like playing, so I think Stoke will definitely get something. Mark Hughes or Tony Pulis, as I said earlier, they don't want to lose their last game of the season. So I think Stoke plus a half, and I think my double would be Stoke plus a half and West Ham plus a half against Liverpool. I think this weekend, so forget this must-win mentality and look at value. And I think there's so much value. Middlesbrough, Sunderland, Stoke, West Ham against teams that have to win. I think if you backed all four of those in a single, 10 quid, 20 quid, $20, one of them will win and you'll be all right.
All right. And then, I'm going for Tottenham versus Manchester United under 2.5 goals as my nap. And then my parlay accumulator bet is Chelsea and Bournemouth win, combining those two. So there you have it. Those are our bets. Best of luck, everybody, heading into the weekend. And, bet responsibly for first and foremost. Thanks, guys, for joining us, and I'll see you soon.
No worries. Take care, Nat.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.